Corpus Christi was part of the Underground Railroad that led slaves to be free in Mexico. Jim Maloney from the Museum of Science and History now joins us so we can find out whether there was or was not an Underground Railroad in Corpus Christi for just that.
As far as I know, there was no Underground Railroad here in Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi was a small town of about 1,200 people. Most of those were relatively poor. This was in 1860. There may have been as many as 40 to 50 slaves in total. And those were either household slaves or possibly working on loading ships and something like that. There was no plantation or agricultural economy down here. There wasn't a large enough population. And South Texas was too dry to grow cotton at the time. There weren't the right varieties. So there was no need for for field slaves, which were the ones that probably would be attempting to get away. Second of all, Corpus Christi is about 150 miles from both Matamoros and Laredo, which were a slave to get there, they would be free because there was no slavery in Mexico. So there was not a lot of slavery because if people didn't like it, they could just walk that far to get to the border, just like reverse immigration today. So the economy was based primarily on sheep raising, which did not require slavery, and trading. So the trading might have required a few slaves in loading ships, but there was also a lot of very low cost labor here in South Texas from either the poor Anglos who came here from England and the North, and also from the Mexicans who came here or lived here in the early days. So that being said, I have never heard of a underground railway here in the South Texas area, and really don't think there was a need for one. Most of the slavery that was going on underground railways were going north to Canada, and they were going from the heavily slave holding areas of the East rather than set down here in South Texas.